So let's begin with a question. How many leads should I buy? So it's a simple function of what's your capacity, what's your inventory, and the difference between the two being what's required to be purchased, or in some cases, if you have a surplus of inventory that's good quality inventory, you may have a surplus of leads to work. So we're going to dive into each one of these numbers. Let's use this example. We're going to start with where we've got in the course of 1 month. Over 1 month, we've got a capacity of 347 leads. And in our assumption here, we're going to have 215 in inventory. The difference being the 132 is what we want to purchase to feed this team with good opportunity for the month we're talking about. So what we're going to do next is break into each one of those elements of that equation, starting with capacity. So number of producers and dedicated sales time are going to produce your full-time producers equivalent. We need to understand that not every producer is a 100% dedicated selling time producer. So we have to adjust for that to get the numbers just right. So if we want to get to the outcome there, we take, in this example, let's say we've got 2 producers. Let's say that they are, between the 2 of them, 80% dedicated to sales work. They may be doing other things in that other 20% of the time. It doesn't matter. We're concerned with the time that they are able to focus and sell. So multiplying those 2 together drives us to the 1.6. So that's one number we need to start with. Next step. We want to get to that bottom cell there that says calls per month. We need to figure out what is this team's capacity on a monthly basis to work the leads in terms of calls. Okay. So to get there, there's 3 drivers. There's the full-time producers number we just came up with. Then we need to figure out how many phone calls per day is a reasonable capacity for them to do. And in the particular month, because every month has a different number of working days, how many business days do we have to work with in the month we're considering? So in this case, we're going to use the 1.6 from the prior slide. We're going to use 80 here as a phone call number per day. Now that number may or may not work for you. If this is a manual dial kind of basic capacity number. If you're using follow-up tool, Ricochet, any of these other platforms, numbers in the hundreds are probably more commonplace for you. But we're going to use 80 for the case here in front of us. In this case, we're going to use 20 business days in this particular month. We multiply those together, and that right there, that 2,560, that is the team's capacity to work your leads expressed in calls. 2,560 is the number of calls. That's the conveyor belt or the factory that we have to work with. Okay.